And now for Dinner with Racers with your hosts, Ryan Eversley and Sean Heckman.
Placeholder radio sound. I'm a driver and I'm very angry. The sound of a driver on the radio during a race.
Well, we are coming up at high noon at the Long Beach Corral, and that means we are getting very, very close to the start of the official pre-race ceremonies for this 46th running of the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, this year uniquely serving as the season finale of the NTT IndyCar Championship.
You know, I'm impressed with the turnout, to be honest, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen, you know? So
oh, man, I'll tell you, the last couple of days, it's too bad we didn't have the sun coming out today, but that's the way it is. Go ahead.
Spectators are on the track at turn 8 here. Did you help to get those people that are off there?
It's busy. The line to get in for the vaccination thing is down to almost promenade. So what we're trying to do is just process them.
Really?
Right now, because it's, you know, they're all showing up at the same time.
Somebody ran into the fence last night. There's a big hole, big enough for a person to walk through, but it's still locked.
Oh yeah, I'll let them know. Thanks.
All right, well, we're just waiting to get the official word, and we will get those official ceremonies underway.
It's a very important event because it draws so much commerce and it draws so much economic activity.
Grand Prix brings people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for everyone. All the hotels are booked, all the restaurants, places with extra room, banquet. So no, economically it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of money to the city.
It is a big Southern California community event. We have people coming in from all over, and you get to take in the racing, but true to the Southern California spirit, we also make a party out of it. We make a party out of everything.
Absolutely. Right? When you see the city of Long Beach from the blimp, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, right by the water with the track going around.
Yeah.
It's a. People say, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that place was like that.
Jim McCallion and his team at Grand Prix know how to cater to the needs of those that live in the area. And they've just kept this tradition alive, and it's been a wonderful tradition for the city of Long Beach and for racing.
It's an entertainment weekend. Happens to feature 6 races, but if you're not a race fan, you can still come out, have a great time. Your family will all find something that's enjoyable, and at the end of the day, even if they don't remember who won any of the races, if they give you a thumbs up, the odds are we're going to get them back subsequent years.
September 28, 1975 was, in most ways, just another beautiful day in Long Beach, California. The vibrant seaside city with its 5.5 miles of beaches along the glistening Pacific Ocean was just beginning to come of age as a world-class port. But this wasn't just any Sunday. On this day, Chris Pook's dream for Long Beach was about to come true. Grand Prix racing had come to Long Beach.
So we heard a rumor that the Grand Prix exists because of the idea stemming from this room?
It actually stemmed from a tiny office just across the hallway here, just behind this wall here.
Oh, okay.
Which was my travel agency at the time.
Okay. What brought you to Long Beach originally?
Well, I bought a home here in 1968. I was in the travel business, and I decided to open up retail travel in 71. And I looked around at Long Beach, what was here, how things were going on. I thought, well, I live here. Why don't I work here?
Right. Sure. At the time, it was paradise, right?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Upper Pine Avenue, up to Broadway, and down to Seaside. It was pretty educational, to say the least.
Educational. Was this place a hole at one point?
It was definitely a hole, especially downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, especially downtown.
Okay.
Tattoo parlors, porn shops, porn movies. I mean, they had everything on Ocean Avenue. It was the visualization as I'm sitting here with you today, thinking Pit Row was on Ocean Avenue.
Yeah.
And across the street was all the porn shops and all the porn movie theaters, XXX rated.
Everywhere.
Yes, this kind of movie headlines as you seen all that.
It's a Navy town, okay, with all the attributes that come with a Navy operation down there.
What do you mean?
And I don't have to go into details. I know you know all that stuff.
But our audience does.
Like work hard, play hard?
Leave it at that, right?
Things that sailors would like for a day of leave.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And it had the Pike in those days, the Pike with the big
Very
roller
different.
coaster, which I think you've seen pictures of.
Yeah.
And, those are the attractions of the city in those times.
Hook's vision of bringing the European tradition of racing in the streets to America seemed perfect for Long Beach. The city combined the setting of a world-class port city with the classic loose and laid-back pace of a Southern California beach town.
Long Beach always had a tendency to strive for big events that would mark them as a sophisticated, progressive, dynamic city.
Even in the 70s.
The Miss Universe pageant was here for a number of years, way back when it carried a certain amount of cachet with it. That went away, and then that was followed by the acquisition of the Queen Mary. So then Chris had come along with the idea that why don't we look at doing an international street race a la Monaco.
I remember people in the convention bureau who were 6 floors above me saying that they were going to build a convention center here, changing Long Beach's image from an oil town, an aircraft town, a Navy town, and they want to become a tourist convention destination. It's going to be pretty hard if you're going to build this whole convention center for $50 million or whatever, and you don't have any decent hotels for people to stay in.
Right, yeah, where they're supposed to go.
That reminded me of the history of Monte Carlo, because Monte Carlo came about because of Nice and Cannes, the two towns next door, which were doing a gangbuster business, particularly in the wintertime, with the Northern Europeans and the English coming down there. And so Monte Carlo said, well, what do we got to do to compete with this? And then somebody in Monte Carlo said, well, let's run cars around our streets. I thought, Monte Carlo established itself by running cars around the streets. What happens if we do it here?
Keep in mind that in 1974-75, when the concept was first being discussed, there were no street races in America.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. None. The reason was, way back when, they had some fatalities associated with Watkins Glen's road race, and after that, none of those type of events were insurable.
And how do you establish Long Beach?
Right.
This destination was hidden by L.A.
Yeah.
Disneyland was better known. Santa Barbara was better known. So you do something absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
And you shut streets down and run racing cars.
When you have this idea, what's the first move?
Well, the first move was to talk to the Convention and Visitors Bureau guys who became travel clients of mine. Took them to lunch at Lombardo's here, and I'd taken some tourist maps, stuck it together on a cardboard back. This is the day before computer graphic arts.
Right.
Yeah. And then I just launched into the idea, but what we wanted to do. And the three of them, their eyes got bigger and bigger, and they looked at me like, are you serious about this? Are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious about it. You know you've got a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
If you believed that this, with national and international television, and go research Formula One, if this will solve your problem of reach and getting the word, then I'll take the next step, and I'll put a phone call into a well-known American race car driver called Dan Gurney. And he didn't know me from Adam.
Sure. Yeah.
And about an hour later, Lichtenheim called me, and he says, let's go forward. Let's bring Gurney in. We got nothing to lose here.
Right.
So, next step.
Cold call Dan Gurney.
Cold call Dan Gurney.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's still Southern California, so nothing happens without star power.
Correct. The cold call Dan's office, All American Races on South Broadway in Santa Ana.
Just a few miles from here.
Yeah. Kathy answered the phone. Same Kathy that's still there. And I said, I'd like to speak to Mr. Gurney, please. And he said, what's this about? And I said, well, I think I've got the genesis for a Formula One race on the streets of Long Beach. Would you repeat that? One moment, please. Hey, this is Dan Gurney. How you doing? And holy crap, I'm talking to Dan Gurney.
Right.
I gotta sell this thing now.
So sure enough, he came over in his white van, and he says, "Okay, you got that piece of cardboard with the what you laid out on? I said, yeah. I said, get in the van. So we got in the van. We drove around Ocean and down Linden, and then we went over the Queensway Bridge. He says, no, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
This will not work. I said, like, I got to get the Queen Mary in it. And he said, yeah, but we can do that as a backdrop.
Right.
So anyway, very quickly, he figured out a circuit, which was Ocean, down Linden, screw around in the Linden parking lot up to the hairpin by the Villa Riviera, because he loved that building. Down Shoreline, hairpin turn, back to Pine, up Pine, back to Ocean.
Yeah.
So the original layout of the Grand Prix of Long Beach wasn't some aerial photo where you handpick each corner and think about photos.
Where people are versus. It was in a white van driving around on dirt.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Wendy.
I'm Jim McKillian. I think we've met before.
Yes, what's your last name again?
McKillian.
McKillian.
Right,
Like
just
we're
like
gonna kill
that.
ya.
Yes.
Okay. Let me do a tease really quick. I'll be right back.
All right, okay, and then we'll do this.
How long have you been doing this, Jim? How many years?
47.
You've been all the way through?
Yep. Still doing it.
Well, I just really want to talk about how good it is to be back.
Yeah, that's fine. And if you want to talk about the protocols a little bit, I can do that.
Yeah,
Or
we
you
can
may
do
have
that too.
covered that earlier in the morning.
Kind of, but we might.
Okay,
Depends on
just-
how loud it is, what we got going.
Yeah.
Look, you know someone's following you right there.
Oh. Hey guys, how we doing here? We selling stuff?
Yes.
Let me ask you something.
Jim isn't actually the mayor of Long Beach, but he could be, right?
Everybody knows him. He is Grand Prix. I mean, there's not one thing that he doesn't know and understand and can control.
No, the polo shirt. You have plenty of those polos? No, the polo. No, I don't want one. I got one.
If you come to him, he understands ticketing. He understands the dynamic of it, marketing, the building, contracts. He's a numbers guy. He started as a CFO. He's a numbers guy.
You got a pace car out there yet?
He's not out there yet.
Not there. You know how to go through? They show you the path
I've
of
done it a
that?
couple times to make sure I
Okay,
tighten it out and everything.
yeah, okay.
And so he gets the bottom line, making it work, but he's a good person. He has a great heart. He's very personable, walks up to people. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how many years has it been? 43? I mean, he's that person.
How you doing? Good to see you. How's everything? All right?
Everything is great.
You got everything under control here?
Yes, sir.
This turned out pretty nice, huh?
Turned out great.
And no matter where I go, everybody knows him.
How you doing, man? How we doing here? How you guys doing? Hey, there they are. Hey, guys. You ever been here before? Thanks for your help.
My pleasure.
You know, appreciate it. And this sponsor of ours is important to us. And so the fact that we can provide them with this opportunity.
Absolutely. They're ecstatic. Thank you so much.
So, Long Beach Grand Prix is closely affiliated with two key names getting it going, Jim McKillian and Chris Poot. How did you guys even meet?
Chris had the idea and took it to the city and was in the process of selling them on the concept. I lived in Long Beach. I had graduated from UCLA and had been involved in a couple of companies. But I lived in Long Beach and I heard about this guy who intended to start a motor race, street race, in my city. There was an appearance before the Coastal Commission at the Port of Long Beach office back in early '75.
Right.
I went to it.
And you didn't know Chris at all?
I didn't know Chris at all.
Okay.
We're riding up in the elevator with two of my now directors, and this guy with a bike gets in the elevator with us. And he stands the bike on its rear wheel, and he's got fairly long hair and dressed very casually. I whispered to him, said, look at this communist over here with his bike. I introduced myself and said that, you know, I was in Long Beach and I was a big supporter and wanted to see about a way to be involved. Jim approaches and says, hey, you know, I'd really like to volunteer my time. I'm between jobs right now. I'm a UCLA grad in business administration. Let me know what I can do.
And this is the kid that was on the bike earlier?
This is the communist with the long hair on the bike.
Yes, okay.
At the time, I was interested in being an investor in the enterprise. You know, so I didn't come as necessarily as an employee. I
came with money.
Yeah, I had a little bit of money. I had
right this way, you definitely got his attention then.
Come right in.
Yeah.
we were involved in the recruitment of funds for that. It was a very small utilitarian group that put the first race together.
Right.
And quite frankly, to be honest with you, and I think it's part of the record, we didn't even get paid for almost a year.
Yeah. Sounds like it was a great way to, like any racing venture, was a good way to lose money.
I mean, it's typical, right?
We've learned in our assorted meals that the key to starting as a driver, as a team owner, as any sort of racing entrepreneur is to lie and just con your way through it. Was there any gamesmanship for, let's say, the other half of the investment group?
There was a
look at that pause.
Yeah. There was a story being told about the potential for this event, and it was up to.
You did not
sheepish right
I
now.
did not agree to this interview.
And it was up to them, to see that there was some kind of a future payoff for it.
I don't know the political culture of Long Beach in the 1970s. I'm sure some of the issues in the 70s are different than they are today. But politics are politics. What were some of the obstacles you guys really faced from just a permitting standpoint?
Well, the big concern was specifically the council people who represented the downtown area.
Right.
There was a very old populace down here, very old. So a lot of the reaction to it was, how do I get around? How do I go to church on Sunday? I can't go over the bridge. How do I facilitate getting my friends and activities associated with the event into the place? And they reacted to it. The counter to that was, we need something like this. Here's a chance for us to redeem ourselves in terms of being able to produce an event that city can be proud of.
So obviously Long Beach is known for IndyCar, but before that was Formula One. But the very first race was Formula 5000. Why Formula 5000?
We ran the Formula 5000 race in September 1975 because it was a prerequisite for getting on the F1 calendar, Formula One calendar in 1976. And it was important for us to run a successful event to prove operationally and from a promotional standpoint that it can be conducted in this city.
So the intention was always F1, but you needed this proof of concept.
Yes.
So that takes us, into the Formula 5000 weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nightmare weekend because when the 5000 race was operated, it was literally our final approval was 6 weeks before.
Mm-hmm. On a track you've never built.
Never built. The first race, we were not allowed to close Ocean Boulevard until 5 o'clock in the morning on the Friday. I mean, everybody's out there helping.
Yeah.
Phil Hill's out there putting up wire fencing.
Really?
He's actually physically working.
Phil Hill is literally chaining up.
That's back when drivers were actually adults.
Yeah.
And had to work jobs at certain times.
Was this for his Instagram account?
No. But we got through it. We got down to the final laps of the race, and we'd forgotten about a victory circle. that was missing.
Yeah, there just wasn't anything.
You got so much going on.
Yeah. So anyway, Toyota had come on board as our sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So I got our operations guy at that time, Lance Schaefer. I said, Lance, get us a pickup truck here at the start-finish stand at Ocean and Long Beach Boulevard.
Yeah.
I said, we'll make the pickup truck our victory circle. What about champagne for the winner? I said, champagne? Oh, my God, where do we get that? So I went to Jack's Liquor with John Elm right there, walked in. He said, I don't have champagne, I don't have whiskey, I don't have anything. He says, I've sold out of every... Wait a minute. Aren't you the guy running this thing out here? I said, yeah. I said, I need champagne. He says, I got some warm Andre in the back there. I said, that'll do. Just give me 3 bottles of Andre champagne.
Yeah. You have your first race here in 75. How many people show up?
That's a whole nother story. We put 40,000 grandstand seats in. We ran the race September 28, 1975. This facility was packed with people. Every one of those grandstands was full. And we had general admission people lining all of Shoreline Drive. Must have been at least 60 to 62,000 people here. What a success.
Yeah.
Wow. I went down to the box office, which was in the arena. There was a gentleman down there named Stan Mack. I walked in, he was a ticket manager. Can you imagine how we attracted all of these people to this event? He didn't even acknowledge me. he was sitting there with one of those old-fashioned calculators, you know, the kind with a handle. And then he turned around to me and he said, young man, he tore that little piece of paper off that adding machine and he handed it to me and he said, I don't know how many people you saw out there, but this is the number of people that paid. And I looked at that, and it was 37,909. That number is embossed in my brain forever. 37,909. And now we're gonna have to go out and explain to all of the various constituents, the press, the city officials, our investors, and the fans, what happened.
So the con was the fans.
In 1976, the ante was raised as the Formula One World Championship came to Long Beach, vaulting the city into the forefront.
The beginning was really tough. We got through the 75 race, and we turned around and did the Formula One race in 76 in March 28th. Bernie was here, and there were some big numbers involved in those days. We had the mechanics of running the race down, but the resources had just, it didn't span that period of time.
Sure.
And so we had a board here. We were going around making subsequent donations, and Bernie came out in 77. We didn't have the money to pay him. And that was the year that Mario won. And that changed the complexity of our whole entire operation. Suddenly, there was a perception that this is a big-time event. When Mario Andretti wins a Formula One race in Long Beach, validating the concept of running a street race in America.
We'd maxed out volume. We could not put any more people in here. I mean, somebody tells you there's 130,000 people in here, it's not possible because there isn't the real estate to put them in.
Right.
No, we've got sponsors everywhere. They're tapped out. They're saying,
this is all I want to spend.
I sat down with Bernie. I said, Bernie, the price for next year is literally the last straw that's going to break the camel's back.
The sanctioning fee that F1 is required.
We called to IndyCar, and after some discussions, not too long, we switched to IndyCar. 1984, they came here for the first time.
The 1984 race was the beginning of a new era. The first IndyCar race at Long Beach was also the first race of the year, and veteran Mario Andretti dominated in his 9th appearance at Long Beach.
Within the Grand Prix staff, which person would you say has been the biggest challenge to get a hold of?
Probably me.
We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. As much as it's coming at our expense, I'm going to defend you. This event lives and dies on you doing everything that it is that you do. No, don't shake your head. It's f***ing true.
Everyone has said the same thing. Like, who runs the show? How does this event happen? Like, oh, Dwight. Like, no question.
Yeah.
So shake your head all you want, but everybody's and then everybody's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. Everyone's wrong.
Okay, sure.
And they're all fired.
You're a father-son duo because, Dwight, you've been part of this since very early on.
December of '76. I had started up a trucking company. A friend of mine who was working for the Grand Prix at the time, he was the director of operations. He had asked if I could do some trucking for him. And I said, sure, wouldn't be a problem. That's how I became part of the Grand Prix.
Jake, what was your first memory of this race?
I don't know. I've been coming here ever since I was born. I know my mom was pregnant with me here when I was in the womb when they were at a race. So I was hearing the sounds of race cars.
Right.
The kind of work you guys do, it's like hardcore, and it's got to be on time because there is no delaying the event. If you're to work for Dwight, what kind of worker are you?
A worker.
Yeah.
You're not going to be standing around looking for something to do.
Yeah.
The way he does it is, you got your tasks and you take care of it, and it's up to you to do it.
How many weeks prior to the race are you allowed to start?
54 days prior to the event.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like if it rains, you can just delay it by a day, right?
No.
No.
We have to work.
No matter what?
Yeah. It sounds like when you guys are in that 54-day window, people are working around the clock.
No, I wished we could because of noise ordinances.
If we run the forklift in the parking lot before 7, we get that phone call from Dwight.
Yeah.
Who's running the forklift?
Because you guys, on most days, are not allowed to run the big heavy machinery before 7 because of the noise, right?
Right.
So if it's 6:50, Dwight's calling somebody.
Well, yeah. We get that call that quick.
So everything is stored either at the Grand Prix offices, which has a huge back section, or on a separate lot that's got all of your concrete block stacked. It is in Long Beach, but it is on the other side of Long Beach from where the track is built out.
It's North Long Beach, yes.
Jake, one of the things that we've learned following you is it's Southern California. There is Southern California traffic, including the 710 freeway, which is the single biggest freeway to connect to the LA and Long Beach ports. How much of a factor does just that 3-mile traffic plot play into putting out concrete?
Oh, it can change the whole timeline for the racetrack being built.
Yeah.
Typically, it would only take you maybe 5 minutes to get up there.
Right.
But when that traffic happens, it'll take them 45 minutes. That's to go one way.
Right. And that's just 5 concrete blocks.
That's 5 concrete blocks.
Yeah.
That's 60 feet.
Which you can cover in a couple minutes.
I can offload a truck on a good day in maybe 5 minutes.
Right.
So basically, you're sitting right now because trucks are stuck in traffic.
More than likely. They were coming in early, so I'm sure that they're stuck in traffic. 710, traffic jam.
If what we've observed is correct, you're largely on the receiving end of the block, laying it down on the track, you and Richard. If those trucks aren't continuing to give you a new load of block, what are you and Richard doing?
Pretty much waiting.
Right.
I mean, now you can see that the public is starting to come out. There's more cars on the street. When there's less obstacles, it's a lot easier to work. I'm way more productive.
We do have a construction schedule. I think you've seen the construction schedule.
I've seen it out of date.
Right. We have to be very flexible because we're in and around a entertainment center. Things change there daily.
Yep. There's a lot of stop this, start this, stop that, go ahead. Yeah. That happens a lot.
Today, we're going to stretch cable on shoreline, and we're going to run block around the aquarium, and we're going to put fence down pine, and all kinds of, there's just so many moving parts going on,
We've had huge concerts that have been booked, but 2 weeks before our event that we've had to make adjustments for.
Right.
So it's, again, it's a little bit of give and take by both.
The guys that are assembled to do this job, it just seems that, we can work together.
Yeah.
How much of your day is playing crossing guard? Because I've seen like a dozen cars who just didn't follow the cones come right up to you.
I mean, every day there's always somebody that's it's just part of the job, especially being on the streets and stuff. People are going to not understand the cone line, and they're just gonna go through the cone line,
What's the worst thing someone said to you?
It's probably not good on camera.
More so than any other part of the country, there is no cone, police car, flashing sign that will make everyone obey. People, they're just going to go where they're going to go around here. And that seems like it is a thing with you guys putting out block and building out these roads.
Yeah.
Once people see that it's a racetrack, it's just in their genes just to be like, ooh, floor it, you know? And
So the more block gets laid down, the
worse
it gets. Scarier this
the
place
scarier
gets.
it gets. Yes, the scarier it gets. Especially when the debris fence comes in and then it
then it's
closes
on.
the racetrack.
Yeah. How often when you're out there on the forklift are you getting lectured?
Many.
Yeah.
A lot of middle fingers.
Last year, we were putting the rumble bumps down at turn 5.
Yeah.
Okay. These big old steel things.
Yeah.
So we took the bolts out and we're blowing out the holes, and we got our kind of scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
And these two people came from the aquarium, and the streets were closed already.
Okay.
So they're kind of just walking along the cone line.
Okay.
And they start kicking my bolts.
They just see bolts.
So-
Like there's clearly guys working.
I don't want to be a jerk, but we were on a 12-day binge straight, no day off, and we were hands and knees.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, we got to finish this. And this lady kicked the bolts. Like, oh, good one, lady, do it again. And she kicked him again.
Lord, can you give me a little bit of grace? Oh, can you
I could see a bad egg really spoiling an event like this. Are there any names that ever come to mind that you think of, like, man, don't blow it for us?
Dane Cameron.
Wow. Is there a type of person that you just wish you never had to see in Long Beach?
There is this driver that I know he's going to race this year, and I don't even know why the hell anybody employs him, but his name is Dane Cameron.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like a non-entity. I don't understand it.
Anybody that comes to mind as somebody you'd not allowed in here, not allowed in any of your bars, anything like that?
Well, there's just one guy. He's a mediocre driver, Dane Cameron. He's a we never let him in here.
Jesus. Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Suck it, Cameron.
Suck it, Cameron.
From Long Beach, from all of us. Suck it, Cameron.
Is there anybody that you don't want in your restaurant? Anyone that's not allowed?
Dane Cameron. Yeah, he's not allowed.
Nope.
From one Cameron to another Cameron. Suck it, Cameron. Could you send me a picture of him?
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you a headshot.
Yeah.
Put it up on the wall.
Well, wouldn't that be nice if he actually walks in and we tell
He
him,
would. He would.
Yeah, we put actually a sign, welcome, race fan.
Except
Dane Cameron.